Hello to everybody. It ends up we've been talking about different types of gear and other things we're going through on the discussion and everything, and I said I'd go ahead and pull up some other things and bring some things out we can talk about. So today I'm going to do a little show and tell and show you the kind of gear I have and its different purposes and why I have it, and I'll try to explain some details on it. Mainly this has to do with firearms, tactical, and the type of gear you're carrying on you to hold your magazines and other equipment like that. So here we go. Alright. Now over here is basically what we call a combat belt. This is quick, easy to go ahead, grab something, throw it on. It's pretty obvious what I got going on. Here's the front, there's the buckle on it. Right hand side is where my pistol is, and of course this case I do not have the pistol in here at the moment. As you can see, this has got a flap on it. I believe Bianchi makes these. They originally came out for the Beretta 92 for the military, and I know it's not a quick draw, but it's going to cover the top of whatever pistol I'm carrying so it doesn't get dirt into it and everything as best as I can. A knife is always something I consider that it should have on you as far as it goes. Sorry, this is going out of focus there for a minute. This here is made by Cold Steel. It's a forged one-piece Bowie. I believe they call it their survival knife. They're pretty reasonably priced. It's all metal. You may end up wanting to put a little tape around yours if you choose to buy this. There's plenty of other good products. I bought this because I figured it could go ahead and take a beating as far as it goes. Anyway, we'll get into other things later on at another time. Flipping over to the other side here, you can see I have 1, 2, 3 AR-15 magazines. That's all this will hold, is 3 right there. Then off to the side here is a little pouch that can go ahead and hold up to 3 pistol mags. So essentially, this is just something quick to throw on, get on your waist, step out or go where you have to very quickly, whether it's out of a vehicle, and have a minimum of a certain amount of gear on you to engage in a short situation, or possibly not have to engage at all once you step out and show that, hey, I'm ready to go. You're in the wrong place, you're trespassing, whatever the deal is. A lot of this I'm going to try not to go too far over the edge down the rabbit hole, and we'll make it more about what it is you're doing, protecting your family, your property, and that kind of thing. As I go through this, it may seem a little more extreme, but you'll get the idea. Okay, now this piece of equipment here is more like a vest, is what it is. I'll turn this a little bit so you can see a little better in the light and so on like that. Now I'm going to lay it down a little more, and as you can see when I do that, the magazine pouches on there start to come into play where you can see them very easily. Starting over here on what would be my left side, you can't see it back here. Here's another one. 1, 2, 3, 4 magazines available. And this is a double stack on my right side. So here's 4 more mags. And then over here is another single. And right there is another single if I need it. Let's pick it up. Kind of move it around. And then we get to the back again, and there's another set of double stacks. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Now a lot of people would say, my gosh, Roger, that's a lot of magazines you're carrying on you and everything, especially on the back and everything. Well, I don't know if you've ever done some training or not, but sometimes there's a situation where your brother next to you or sister runs out of ammo and they're asking for a magazine. And you tell them, I've got them on the back, take one. So that's another reason. They're not handy to get to efficiently, but you can get to them in a pinch. But that's one of the things in our training that we go ahead and do back home, to where we set up magazines on the back It's not necessarily for us. It's extras if we needed it, and so on. Now, that's my quick, I got to go handle a lot of things. Hopefully nothing ever happens and everything stays peaceful. But with this particular piece of equipment already loaded up and ready to go, it ends up, if the situation needed, it could handle some things. With everything here, I forgot what I tallied it up to. I think it's like 360 rounds or something. Way more than anybody would ever need. But you got to remember, it's also stated by military men in Afghanistan the average engagement lasts 15 minutes and they'll expend 225 rounds in 15 minutes. Of course, they have an endless supply line, so for that matter, they can do whatever they want. Now we're going to move over here to the plate carrier. Now the plate carrier isn't for everybody. And I'm also going to bring up the part about, they talk about train like you fight, fight like you train. Well, we're all guilty of not being in our best shape. And this thing right here, this plate carrier, weighs a lot with everything here. So on the front of mine, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and another pouch that would hold 2 more. So I have a place here to hold 6 magazines on the front. Then on the side, I have a place here for 2 more double stackers. I can put 4 more mags in there. This little item we're going to come back to here in just a moment. And then we're going to roll this over. And now you look on the back. This one here, if you have not seen this type of pouch before, this type of pouch is about the size that most people use for their medical stuff. You know, your medical stuff is made for you to use on yourself or for your buddy to go ahead and use your stuff to save your life. That's why you should have that. So I believe most of the time those are called an IFAC. Somebody can correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know everything. I'm just sharing today. And obviously here I have a water bladder. And yes, I know the tube is blue at the moment. I have not covered it, nor have I painted it or done anything with it. But right now it's serving the purpose. And if somebody's close enough to see the blue on me, then I have bigger problems to deal with than what color my drinking tube is. So anyway, we're going to flip back over here on the left side of this gear. I told you we would come back to this. This little guy right here, if you look at it, it's just kind of long and it's like it's a pouch of some sort. Well, if you grab this Velcro, hopefully I can do it with one hand easily. Watch me fight it. Okay, there, I got it open up. Look at this thing. It's unrolled. And if you notice up here, there's a drawstring. And this drawstring's actually elastic. And you notice there's a cinch device here to go ahead and make that kind of tie up and pull together if needed. This is actually a bag. You know, it's kind of hard for you to really see it without light shining out, but it's essentially nothing more than a bag. It rolls down off your hip, referred to as a dump bag. The dump bag is a place for you to dump your magazines real quickly. Just throw them down in there, be done with it. It also has a type of collar up around the top edge to try to help hold them all in. So anyway, that's what that's for, and it's hopefully to go ahead and keep your used magazines from getting mixed up with your others. Can you imagine what it would be like in an intense situation and you're trying to hold back people that are trying to storm your ranch, let's say, for the food or the cattle you have, and you're trying to go ahead and shove magazines back in here where they came from? It's like, that is really going to be difficult. But if you have a dump bag or some other place that you can actually put stuff like that, because if you lose a magazine, unless you have a lot, then you're going to be out of luck. Now, the plate carrier itself with everything on it and loaded down is really, really heavy again. And I mentioned about, train like you fight, fight like you train. Well, it turns out with that, unless you are very, very athletic, and I am not, this is what we would call used for a static position. You're going to go ahead and use this to go ahead and stay in one spot only. So that being the case, you're really hopefully not having to run a lot or anything. Anyway, now that you've actually looked at plate carrier, the quick tactical vest that can hold a lot of magazines and get up and move with it. And yes, the tactical vest doesn't have water on it. I have other gear. I switch it out as I go and add to it what I need to. And then we have the battle belt. Essentially the basics: 3 pistol magazines, 3 rifle magazines, a knife as far as goes, and a holster to keep my pistol in. Now, in most cases, the battle belt itself will be going with this, the plate carrier, if I decide to use it. And you notice with my plate carrier along the bottom down here, there is no battle belt attached to it. And a lot of pictures, they actually show that. I designed this to where, or chose, I didn't design it, chose to have my battle belt separate from this, to where if I need to take it with this, I have that choice. I can go either way and accompany either one with that. So anyway, I'm going to switch you back to looking at me. So anyway, you've kind of seen the little bits of difference, and this is the gear I have. Nothing's perfect. Some of it works for me a little better. Some of it I'm piecing together as I go. None of it's cheap. You just buy what works for you. Don't worry about name brand or anything like that. Find what you can afford and work from there. So anyway, thought I would share a little. A couple people had asked for it. So anyway, everybody have a good evening or day, depending on when you actually view this. This is Roger. Goodbye.